So Donald Trump's temper tantrums over the debate got him absolutely nowhere. Donald Trump has submitted and tapped out, and now he claims that he will be appearing at the September 10th debate against Vice President Kamala Harris on ABC, right? Donald Trump threw a fit and a temper tantrum. I'm not going on. He called George Stephanopoulos Slopadopoulos. He said that they were going to treat him very unfairly. His campaign spokesperson put out a weird Venn diagram and doesn't know how Venn diagrams work and said, Kamala, Kamabla, Kamabla, blah, Kamabla. And they were posting strange things like that. But here's what Donald Trump, I kid you not, I'll show you it in a second. But here's what Donald Trump posted moments ago. He wrote the following: I have reached an agreement with the radical left Democrats for a debate with Comrade Kamala Harris. It will be broadcast live on ABC Fake News, by far the nastiest and most unfair newscaster in the business, on Tuesday, September 10th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The rules will be the same as the last CNN debate, which seemed to work out well for everybody, except perhaps crooked Joe Biden. The debate will be stand-up, and the candidates cannot bring notes or cheat sheets. We have also been given assurances by ABC that this will be a fair and equitable debate, and that neither side will be given the questions in advance. No Donna Brazile. Harris would not agree to the Fox News debate on September 4th, but that date will be held open in case she changes her mind or flip-flops, as she has done in every single one of her long-held and cherished policy beliefs. A possible third debate, which would go to NBC Fake News, has not been agreed to by the radical left. God bless America is all in caps, exclamation point. I mean, by the way, anybody who, and this is my opinion, anybody who talks like that or writes like that or posts like that, that should be disqualifying in and of itself from any position of leadership or any position of quasi-leadership, yet alone the most important position in the United States of America and potentially the world, the presidency. But there Donald Trump is saying ABC fake news, NBC fake news. But in other words, Donald Trump basically completely capitulated, right? The art of the deal, right? Donald Trump thought he was going to make up fake debates with Fox on September 4th, which didn't exist, to try to pressure Vice President Kamala Harris into doing that, and absolutely did not work out at all. Here, by the way, so, one of the things you may be noticing there was a question about whether or not Donald Trump's mic would be muted or not muted when he was not answering the questions, because obviously if he mutes his mic, if they mute his mic for him, you can't necessarily hear how unhinged he is when he starts to mutter or say things under his breath. Vice President Kamala Harris wants Donald Trump not to be muted so the people can see. But some of Donald Trump's surrogates, like Byron Donalds, says that nope, the mics need to be muted. And get this is just how much they gaslight us right here. Byron Donalds said because there's a fear that Vice President Kamala Harris will be interrupting Donald Trump, so that's why the mics need to be muted. Here's what Trump surrogate Byron Donalds said. Play the clip.
The reason why Kamala Harris wants to change the rules now to have open microphones is because she wants to interrupt Donald Trump. She wants to be able to create a spectacle out of this debate, which would prevent her from actually being forced to discuss public policy, discuss her positions in detail.
But then when Donald Trump was asked about it yesterday, Donald Trump said that it doesn't matter to him whether or not the mics are muted, and that Donald Trump would prefer that the mics stay on and not be muted. Play this clip.
Would you want the microphones muted in the debate whenever you're not speaking?
We agreed to the same rules. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather have it probably on.
And this was earlier today. This is why you can never believe anything that why you never could believe anything these people say. They just put out all these conflicting messages all of the time. Here's Donald Trump's official campaign, one of his other campaign communications directors, spokesperson, Caroline Levitt. And she says Donald Trump is okay with his mic being on and not muted when he's not speaking. Play this clip.
Caroline, there have been reports in the mainstream media, the left-wing media, to be clear here, that say that there are those on the campaign, not naming anyone, but those in the campaign that actually want the mics to be shut down because that would be better for President Trump because he did so well in that same scenario against Joe Biden. Can you comment on that?
Well, we are confident that President Trump will do just as well as he did against Joe Biden, against this debate with Kamala Harris, too. And as President Trump said yesterday, he's okay with the mics being on. He's okay with the mics being turned off.
Well, if you read Donald Trump's statement, he seems to be suggesting, though, that the CNN rules, which involves the mic being muted, would exist, even though he and his communications director says he prefers it not to be muted. I mean, you can see right there just what a liar he is. But then he has Byron Donalds going out and saying, mute it because Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be the one who's going to be interrupting him. Here's his campaign spokesperson, Stephen Chung, who previously posted the following after canceling this debate the first time. Stephen Chung wrote, Kama blah, Kama blah. That's the top communications person for Donald Trump right there doing that. Remember when they canceled this debate, though, back on July 25th, 2024? Remember the statement that was issued? This was an official statement from the Trump campaign. Given the continued political chaos surrounding crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, general election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. There is a strong sense by many in the Democrat Party, namely Barack Hussein Obama, that Kamala Harris is a Marxist fraud who cannot beat President Trump, and they are still holding out for someone better. Therefore, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats very well could still change their minds. And then Stephen Chung wrote after that, you idiots fell for the trap. Hussein was trending and was mentioned on cable news throughout the night. Thanks for doing our jobs, cucking his announcement this morning, moron. I don't even understand their language. I don't even know what they're talking about. But here's Vice President Kamala Harris at a speech that she gave recently. This one was her Atlanta speech, where she said to Donald Trump, look, say it to my face. If you're going to go out and say it to my face, you're scared to debate me. Say it to my face. Play this clip.
So the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it. You may have noticed. So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. So here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. Don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face.
And that's around the time Donald Trump posted this. ABC fake news is such a joke, among the absolute worst in the business. They try to make Crooked Joe into a brave warrior because he didn't have the guts to fight it out. He quit. Then they tried to make Sleepy look like a great president. He was the worst. And lying Kamala into a competent person, which she is not. ABC, the home of George Slopadopoulos, is not worthy of holding a debate, which I hope there will be many. MAGA 2024. And it's just more of that. Like, and again, that behavior to me just should be called out for what it is. Like, again, who behaves like that? Well, now that we are Donald Trump, now that we are gearing up for the debate, I mean, I think we're going to see things like this. Here's what I think we'll hear Donald Trump say things like this at the debate. Play the clip.
Okay. She called it wrong. She's called it wrong now for about 8 years. But she said one thing that got me. She said Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's, but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala. No, I couldn't believe it. She said, you know, I had never heard that one. They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, huh. I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is. In her speech yesterday.
And here's what I think Vice President Kamala Harris will say at the debate. Things like this. Play this clip.
And let me say, I know there are people of various political views watching tonight. And I want you to know, I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me to put country above party and self, to hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the peaceful transfer of power. I will be a president who unites us around our highest aspirations.
But look, you know, Donald Trump will probably continue to whine. Like, again, this was him yesterday when he was asked a question about the debate by the press. And he said, why am I even doing it? Why am I even doing it? But, you know, this is just how he behaves.
Hostility was incredible. And Reince was in there, but he was a little bit softer than he should be, to be honest with you. But when I looked at the hostility of that, I said, why am I doing it? Let's do it with another network.
And just think about this, though. If this is how he behaves over the scheduling of a debate, like, just imagine how he deals with, like, scheduling of, like, actual world issues that impact your lives and my lives and our country. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.